Hey, I'd like to welcome you to another episode of the Mission Matters Entertainment Podcast, your source for all things entertainment. My name is Adam Torres. You can follow me on Instagram at AskAdamTorres to keep up with my book releases, book tour schedule, signings, all that other good stuff. Always love to connect with you there. And as always, if you'd like to apply to become a co-author of one of my upcoming books, just head on over to the website, missionmatters.com, and click on Become an Author to apply. All right, so today is a very special Reunion 2020 episode. What is that? That's when I bring on a guest I had on in the past, and I liked them so much I had to bring them right on back. So today's special guest is Conrad Wilton, and he's an associate attorney over at Fox Rothschild, LLP. Conrad, welcome back to the show.
Thanks, Adam. I thought I scared you away the first time, but apparently not.
Apparently not. All good here, and excited to get into some of the news on what's going on in litigation. I know we want to talk about the Astros scandal, all that stuff going on there. But before we do that, I don't want to assume that all our new listeners caught the first episode. So let's just get into what you're doing over at Fox Rothschild, LLP to kick us off.
Sure. So I am an entertainment litigator. So I handle entertainment media-related issues, so specifically soft intellectual property disputes like copyright, trademark, branding, things like that, and then stuff that would be relevant to the entertainment field like protecting celebrities from defamation, protecting the rights of publicity and privacy rights and other kinds of things under that umbrella. And I also do a lot of general commercial litigation work. I've had some very interesting experiences doing everything from marital dissolution to collections work and prosecuting financial fraud and white-collar crime. It's really been pretty exciting. You walk into the office one day thinking you're going to do something, and you end up spending the whole day on something else.
I get it 100%. Well, let's get into this Astros scandal. So where do you want to start on that one?
Well, we've got first off, if I sound a little bitter, it's because I am a lifelong Dodger fan. So I have to mention that so that everyone can understand that my comments, although legally accurate, may be slightly embittered.
Got it.
Just a little bit.
Spoken like a true lawyer. Good job.
Yeah, just a quick disclaimer. Maybe not the most unbiased source on this, but I'll tell you, I've been following this super closely, and once this started to intersect with the law, meaning some lawsuits have actually arose out of the scandal, that's when I knew I had to give my good old pal Adam a call and see if I could chat with you about some of this stuff. So it's really quite fascinating. The one lawsuit that I think most people know about at this point, it's one of the earlier ones. It was filed earlier this month actually, but now we're in March, so it was in February, by a pitcher named Mike Bolsinger, who's actually a former Dodger pitcher, but at the time in question, when he faced the Astros in 2017, he was a pitcher with the Toronto Blue Jays, and he has an action that is something that other pitchers might consider filing themselves, because he says, well, I pitched against the Astros, and in this particular game, they were stealing my signs and hitting me from left and right, basically like a piñata. I looked so bad that the organization sat me down and said, "You're going to the minors," and that's that. He hasn't been able to pitch in the major leagues again, and he's suing the Astros for a bunch of things, but mainly interfering with his business opportunities, his economic potential, his contracts with the Blue Jays and Major League Baseball, and unfair competition. I mean, there's a lot of interesting causes of action that have sprouted out of this. So that's where he's at with that.
Wow, that's crazy. I never thought about that. It's like your future right to earn, right? Like if you're trying to, if you're thinking about it, it's like if somebody stole, what would be the metaphor? I don't even know where to go with that one. What would be the equivalent in like a non-sports related field? It'd be like if somebody stole your IP, right? Like they stole your IP for your company, they stole your trademark, or they stole something, and now that you're not able to do business with that because it no longer, is unique to you or what you're doing. Wow, I never thought about that.
Right. And the key, so there's that, and the key claim is unfair competition, which is very broad under California law, which is where he actually filed this action, and which is a little curious as to whether that'll stand, because the game was played in Houston, and he was a pitcher for the Blue Jays, so the tie to California is a little attenuated, but unfair competition is really broad here, and it covers any kind of unlawful or even quote-unquote unfair activities that a business may take that causes injury. So there's the question of damages is obviously up in the air, and there's some things about this that make it a little dubious, but it seems that he might have at least a plausible claim.
Wow.
And certainly enough for maybe other players to follow suit.
So where do you think this goes next? I mean, what do you think happens next year? Do you think other players follow suit? And obviously that's a hearsay. I mean, you don't know, but you think other players are going to file suit? Like, what do you think is going to happen next?
Well, I think players are going to watch and see where this one goes. In Mike's instance, it's a tough case because he wasn't pitching all that well that season, and he kind of bounced in between, from different teams. So it wasn't like we're talking about, a Cy Young Award would-be winner,
sure.
And this he gets hit up for 12 runs and something crazy happens. I mean, he faced the Astros earlier that season in Toronto, and the evidence that Major League Baseball has uncovered is that the Astros have, they were cheating using equipment in their home field, Minute Maid Park in Houston. So Mike Bolsinger, the plaintiff here, faced the Astros in Toronto and got lit up earlier that season. So you can make an argument, and I'm sure they would, that, in your specific instance, you see where this is going. Well, you're going to get lit up like a Christmas tree anyway. So why, don't come crying to us. But Adam, it's not necessary. I mean, other pitchers might have different who are perhaps more favorable facts, might have different circumstances. So it's very interesting. That's the key lawsuit with this. And then there's been a few others where there's been some fantasy baseball players who have sued the MLB, claiming that they knew about sign stealing and that the playing field was tilted, and they want their money back. And there's been one, I think a season ticket holder has sued the Astros, saying that you weren't providing a fair product on the field, and you shouldn't have raised ticket prices on us. I mean, it's really coming out the wazoo.
Wow, that's totally not. It makes you not want to be in the baseball business. Like, that's a pain. You shouldn't have raised prices. That's a lot of different suits they're dealing with. Oh man. It's a whole lot, but it's important. I mean, but it's a lot.
It is. It's like a cross section of two things America loves most: baseball and litigation.
And throw in some good old fashioned news. America loves their news. So all between those three, it's game. It's definitely newsworthy, and it's not going anywhere anytime soon. Wow.
No, not at all.
Oh, man, that's awesome. So that being said, if somebody, and I could talk to you about this all day because there's layers to this, but we're about out of time. So if somebody is listening to this and they want more information on Fox Rothschild LLP or connect, what's the best way for them to reach out, Conrad?
Best way would simply be to Google search my name, Conrad Wilton, and my profile will pop up on foxrothschild.com. And then I'm also active on Twitter, so you can find me at Twitter handle at Conrad's Corner, and we can connect there.
Awesome. Well, hey, Conrad, it's been great catching back up with you and bringing you back for this 2020 episode, and excited to see what happens in this whole Astros scandal and what happens next. And to the audience, as always, thank you for tuning in. Hope you got a lot of value out of this. If you did, don't forget to subscribe to the podcast, leave me a review on the Apple iTunes Store. If you're watching this on our YouTube channel, Mission Matters Entertainment, definitely give that a subscribe and leave us some comments in the video section. Love to hear what you thought about it and what's going on in your world. And Conrad, thanks again for coming back on the show.